Firewatch. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words. We're going to read some words, guys. I don't know which words, but I think it's going to be... Mac, just get on with it, for fuck's sake. Firewatch is a single-player first-person mystery set in the Wyoming wilderness, where your only emotional lifeline is the person on the other end of a handheld radio. So what is Firewatch? Well, it's a walking simulator, guys. It's another walking simulator masquerading as a game. It's one of them, you know the kind. We've had plenty on this channel and I fucking hated all of them because why? There's only one game that I actually like that is a story, and that is, there's two. The Walking Dead from Telltale Games and Game of Thrones. And do you know why I like them? Because the story is good. Game of Thrones is my favourite TV show. The Walking Dead is a really good TV show about zombies. Well, it used to be good, then it went shit after season 3. But it's kind of, you know, interesting subject. What's the subject of this? Some guy in the middle of fucking nowhere looking out for smoke whilst talking to someone on a radio. What the fuck? Why? Why is that interesting? Why? Oh, because Mac, it's interesting because it pulls on the challenges in life, and it's such an emotional, sentimental journey of two people who've never met, just forging a relationship out of the background of their past. F*** off. I wouldn't go and watch this if it was the kind of film that my wife would say, do you want to come to the movies and watch this film? It's really sentimental. No, I don't. I want to go and see Texas f***ing Chainsaw Massacre or something like that. Sorry, I just had to get that rant out of the way. The game starts with you spinning around in a lift. And I thought this was actually part of the game. I thought you just had far too many sherbets. You jumped in the lift and you were having a bit of a dizzy spell. And I thought it was part of the game, and I thought you had to time the spins with opening the lift door. Until I realised it was a bug, and it was the fact that my joystick was plugged in and the game couldn't cope with it, so I had to restart the game. You're basically a park ranger, and you're out for the whole summer in this big, massive park, and your job is to watch out for fires and pick up litter and, you know, the kind of interesting things, you know. There's another park ranger that's got a walkie-talkie in another tower somewhere. You live in this tower, that's your base, and they've got a tower which is miles away, and you talk to each other, and you're building up this relationship between yourself and her. And I'm not going to tell you what happens or anything, but there's a bit of a mystery that needs solving by walking around the park doing stuff. Now, I actually thought at first that it looked drab, and I was really bored out my tits because it doesn't look great. I mean, it's a Unity game. It runs like shit as well, by the way. The frame rate is just pretty poor. But the story was, yeah, you know, the usual bullshit. And it's just, oh, Mac, you're going to get, I know I'm going to get hammered for this, but look, it's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. I'm not reading a book. I'm not at the movies. It's a game, right? So I'm looking at this as a gamer. And I mean, there was an interesting part where there was two girls who were stripping their clothes off and leaving a trail of their clothes. I found pants and bra and all that, and I thought, yeah, awesome, I'm going to actually stumble across two lesbians making love outside, and I was like rushing through the bushes to get there. But yeah, it didn't turn out to be two lesbians. They missed a trick there, guys, the devs. They could have had, the sales would have been absolutely through the roof had they put the lesbians on the floor on a little blanket, you know, with a little, it was a picnic, you know, and they were just kind of having muffins. Mac, just stop it, will ya? But they didn't. But anyway, as you're going around, the things start to unfold. A story starts to unfold, a mystery, and you see this strange guy who just appears kind of out of nowhere, and it does get a bit creepy, guys. I mean, it did get a little bit creepy. I was quite nervous at one point going through the forest, and I was scared to look behind me, and I was kind of on the edge, and you know, it was kind of, the story is pretty much well done, and as I got more and more into the game, I started, you know, thinking, this story, yeah, okay, all right, the story's pretty decent. It's starting to go somewhere now. I see what you're doing. I see where it's going. I see what's happening. And the relationships is kind of, it's pulling on different bits of your personality, and you're trying to get to know each other, and you're trying to suss each other out, and a little bit of flirting. And it did get a little bit interesting until I realised that the game can be done in 3 hours. And then it started to not get interesting, and then it just kind of skipped weeks and months into the future, and it was kind of, obviously they had to pass time, but I'd been right round the map, and it was very linear. I mean, there was a couple of instances where I could branch off left and branch off right, but they both took us to the same place inevitably, and it was an uneventful map. It's got a few little cliffs that you abseil down, and you've got these little boxes, supply boxes that you find, and the combination to all of them's 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you would have thought that they would have at least maybe had that a bit. I mean, it's just very dull. It's a very dull game, and I don't understand what's going on with the reviews to this game. I mean, I'm going to read IGN. Firewatch on the strength of its gripping story. There's nothing gripping about it. Brilliant branching script. What brilliant branching script is this? The fact that it branches into a mystery, branches into your past, branches into the beginnings of a relationship, branches into a bit of your personal life, branches into a bit of their personal life. How is that brilliant? It's not. Wholly convincing voice acting performances. The voice acting is excellent in this game. Stunning art direction. What stunning art direction would that be in this awful engine of Unity? Could it be the extra long blades of grass, some that are floating in the air? I mean, the plastic looking rock. I mean, it's just no, f*** off. Really? Are you playing the same game as me? It's easily one of my favourite and most memorable game experiences of this decade. 9.3 IGN. Yeah. I've got a message for you, IGN. F*** off. £15, guys, for this. £15 for a 3-hour f***ing story in a Unity engine that doesn't even look great, runs like shit, has you spinning around in the f***ing elevator at the beginning, which makes it look like a minigame if you've got anything connected that isn't a mouse and a f***ing keyboard. You have a lesbian scene that doesn't exist that should have. Sorry, forget that last bit. It's a walking simulator. All you do in this game is you walk around a big uneventful map, talking into a radio, building a relationship up with some tart in a tower. And that's £15 for a gamer. Well, if that's £15 and everybody else, rock, paper, shotgun, Firewatch is a rare and beautiful creation that expands the possibilities for how a narrative game can be presented without bombastic or gimmick. Gorgeous and clever, Campo Santos' debut is a triumph of craft, Eurogamer. Well, here's one worth a buy. Firewatch is a big pile of festering ocelot piss, which is fucking boring, walking around a Unity map, talking into a fucking radio to some tart in a tower. 1 out of 10 must try fucking harder with this piss. Listen, let's compromise at the end of this. If you're into interactive stories, right? If you want a sentimental story with a bit of a mystery that you don't mind being over in 3 hours, buy it. But if you're looking for a gripping story, something that you can get your teeth into with plenty of interaction, forget it. You ain't gonna get it here. It's just not. There's nothing to see here. Nothing. It's a game. Guys, this is supposed to be a game. £15, 3 hours. I've seen longer fucking movies. Than this. And another thing, while I'm at it, another thing, guys. One last thing that I want to add that nobody else seems to fucking notice. We're in a big national park that's got no fucking animals in it. Sorry, I saw a giant butterfly the size of an albatross and a deer at the beginning, but I've walked miles. I've lapped 2 or 3 times round this, been in caves, never seen so much as a fucking squirrel, a rabbit, or anything. It's just nothing. There's nothing. I'm assuming there's a bear because I saw claw marks on a tree, and we've talked about grizzly bears, but I haven't finished the game. It's got bugs, it runs like shit, and I just found it boring. So there you go, guys. Firewatch, is it worth a buy? If you're a woman and you read books, yes. Anything else, nah. What if you're a man and you like books? If you're a man and you like books, then look, it's not a.